Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I'm a geek, you're watching Kevin the Geek, and today it is a reaction that is coming from one of the members of the community. Andy suggested this one quite a good few months ago, said this is one that I should have a look at checking out. It is an older British sitcom called Rising Damp. This one ran from September 1974 until May 1978. It was 4 series and a spin-off feature film of the same name in 1980. It was the highest ranking ITV sitcom in BBC's 100 Best Sitcoms poll of 2004, coming in 27th overall. Basically, you have Leonard Rossiter playing Rupert Rigsby, who is the miserly, seedy and ludicrously self-regarding landlord of a rundown Victorian townhouse who rents out his shabby bedsits to a variety of tenants. That's all I've got from a very quick glance at the Wikipedia page of this one. I obviously try not to look too much more in of that, because I'd like to see and kind of learn things for myself. So thank you for suggesting this one, Andy. Anyone else who wants to make suggestions, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. But let's check out the very first episode of Rising Damp. I like the theme tune already. Guessing this is the guy. Don Warrington? Wow. Wow, okay. I didn't know Don Warrington was in this. Richard Beckinsale. Can't say I'm familiar with him.
Ah, Rigsby. Have you thought any more about the room?
I thought about it, yes.
And you said you'd consider me.
Did I?
Yeah, you did say that.
No, you couldn't afford a room like this.
How much is it?
6.
6? You can't charge 6 for this.
Why not?
It's too small.
Oh, no, it looks small. That's the heavy wallpaper. Should have used paler colours. But you couldn't get a room like this for less than 6. I mean, look at it. Functional with just a hint of luxury. Yes, it should appeal to the professional class. All I've got to do is get a phone in.
You put a phone in here, it'll look like a telephone box.
Oh, very funny. If it's so small, why do you want it?
Because it's freezing up there and it's damp.
I've told you before, it is not damp.
I've got rising damp. My furniture's falling to pieces.
How can you have rising damp in the attic, eh? If you're higher than the crows up there, should be very healthy, like Switzerland.
Switzerland? Rigsby, my suits are going green.
Yes, I don't deny your suits are going green, but it is not rising damp.
What is it then?
Condensation. You know why? Because you will try and cook a 5-course meal on one gas ring. I can't see you for steam some nights.
That's because it's so cold up there.
Yes, of course it's cold. Never said it wasn't. There's nothing between this house and the Urals. You're breathing the same air as the Tartars up there, you know. Look how long they live. I should charge you extra.
I can't go on like this, Rigsby. I've forgotten what it's like to wear open-neck shirts. And I can't spread butter. I tear great holes in the bread. I can't study. The brain won't function at such low temperatures.
Not the only thing that won't function, is it? Which in your case isn't a bad thing. Anyway, when did you last study, eh? The only thing you study is your navel. You even shave lying down. When did you last go to the college? My God, they must have forgotten what you look like down there.
Of course they haven't. I go regularly.
How can you? Your hair's never dry.
Ah, so that's it. It's my hair, is it? Well, let me tell you, Jesus Christ had long hair.
Now, that's enough of that.
What?
Don't you go comparing yourself with him. You show a bit of respect.
But it's true, he did have long hair.
He didn't have a hairdryer, though, did he?
True.
Anyway, this room contains my own personal property, you see. Most of this furniture belonged to my father. He died on that settee.
So?
Right, it's a question of respecting his memory.
I'll respect his memory.
No, you don't understand. He was a man of very high principles. Do you know, he once got off a bus rather than sit against a woman with bare arms. That's the sort of man he was.
What's that got to do with it?
So how's he going to feel when the 1974 Sex Olympics start on that city?
I can't get a woman to come back here, Rigsby. I've tried to take one look at that place and remember a previous appointment.
I know, I've told you. Get it cut, get it cut. It might improve your chances if you didn't look so much like Rasputin.
No, I don't believe it, Rigsby.
Nothing wrong with long hair.
Minded. Just because I've got long hair is no reason to dislike me.
Yeah.
No, I think you only grew your hair long so as you could say that's why people disliked you. I think they disliked you before.
Well, they don't dislike me as much as they dislike you.
Yeah.
Dislikes me. I'll punch their heads in.
Hello, Alan. Oh, Mr. Rigsby. I wonder if I could have a word.
Yes, yes, of course, Miss Jones. Yes, you want to come down to my room?
No, it won't take a moment.
Would you excuse me?
I'll leave the door open.
I'm sorry. Please, would you
I was wondering, Mr. Rigsby, I have a student at the college who needs a room. Is this one available?
Student? Oh, I don't know about that, Miss Jones.
Well, I wouldn't normally ask, but accommodation is such a problem at the college, and it is my responsibility.
Yes, of course. Yes, well, I'd certainly like to do you a favour, Miss Jones, of course. I mean, look what happened last time when we got him up there.
You mustn't be too hard on Alan. I think he's shy and lonely.
Yeah, so was Crippen. Do you know, he's just had the nerve to ask for this room himself,
Oh.
you know. So I wasn't having him down here, not next door to you, taunting you with his rock music. I mean, it wouldn't be fair, not to a woman of your refinement. You know, Miss Jones, there are some men who'd try to take advantage of a single woman like you living on their own.
Really?
Do you think so, Mr. Rigsby?
Do you know, if you don't mind me saying so, Miss Jones, you waste too much time on these students. You ought to think of yourself more. You need the companionship of someone near your own age. Someone who's seen something of the world, who's knocked about a bit. Who's understanding, you know, with a sense of humour.
I don't meet people like that, Mr. Rigsby.
No.
This student, Miss Jones, he hasn't got long hair, has he?
No, as a matter of fact, it's quite short. Mr. Smith is rather aristocratic.
Oh, aristocratic. Smith.
And he's very conscientious and hard-working.
Ah.
In fact, Mr. Smith is a very mature student.
Ah. He a friend of yours, is he?
No, I've only met him briefly.
Oh.
I do appreciate this, Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, well, anything for you, Miss Jones, as you know.
How much is the rent?
Oh, should we say £4?
Well, that sounds very reasonable.
Oh, not at all.
Thank you very much,
Oh,
Mr. Rigsby.
anything
He
else?
said six before.
Hey, Vienna, hey. I think I did myself a bit of good there. I want that table.
Oh,
It belongs downstairs.
I'm eating off it.
I warned you might want it at any time.
Why don't you wait till I've finished?
Look, I can't wait for you to stop eating, mate. Life's too short. Come on.
I have to eat, Rigsby, in order to keep warm.
Why are you having cereal then?
I've never seen anyone clear a plate faster than you. It's as if you're feeding something under the table. Come on.
I'll be careful, you'll spill it.
God, what a mess. You're not cooking these dried peas again, are you?
What's wrong with that?
They get everywhere. They come drumming down the stairs like grape shot. Come on, I've got to get on. Come on.
Why are you in such a hurry?
I've got a gentleman coming.
Oh, what?
A gentleman.
What's he coming for?
As a matter of fact, he's coming for the room.
He won't stay.
Oh, yes, he will. Just as long as you keep away from him. You're not getting that room, all
What
right?
do you mean?
Don't think I don't know why the last one left.
He went for a cheaper room.
No, he didn't. He left because he found a jar marked diphtheria germs in his bed.
Oh!
So you keep away from him. Right, let's have that table. Come on.
What about my friend? Been looking forward to a meal. He hasn't had one for weeks.
Where did that come from?
Oh, don't you recognise him, Rigsby? He's the fellow that had the room before me. He's the one who was complaining about the cold. Hey, look, shake hands with Mr. Rigsby.
Get in.
Why?
It's morbid, that's why.
Look, I have to study anatomy, Rigsby. How can I set bones if I don't know what they look like?
But they never let you set bones. Why? God, look what happened when you examined Vienna. He only had a slight limp. By the time you'd finished with him, it was a dislocated hip.
Well, at least he's someone to talk to, and he's musical. Dem bones, dem bones, dem.
Rag, that's not funny.
Hey, you were laughing.
Won't do you any good, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, Miss Jones, I know why you're doing it, dirty old man.
Why? Nothing could be further from my mind. She's a respectable woman.
Oh, yeah, then why do you clean the windows 3 times a week?
You thank your lucky stars I'm holding this table. And you better watch your step. Things are beginning to look up around here. There might not be room for you now. Not now I'm getting in a better class of tenant.
Excuse me.
Hey!
Smith. Is this my room?
Oh my God! Look how young he is! Oh my word! I mean, the youngest I've probably seen him in something was the episode of Red Dwarf that he was in, Hollow Ship, which would have been series 5. So that would have been about 1994. So this would have been about 20 years before that. And then, obviously, more recently, I've been watching him in Death in Paradise, where he's obviously much, much older guy as the commissioner. So, wow. Just wow.
That's done it.
Done what?
Oh, didn't you see him? She said he was aristocratic. Aristocratic. Probably never had a pair of shoes on till he came here.
Don't tell me you're prejudiced, Rigsby. After all, we're all supposed to be brothers.
He's not my brother. My brother lives in Accrington. Hey, did you see that mark on his cheek? Eh? Initiation ceremony.
Well, that's no different from the Germans in the dueling scars.
He didn't get that in Heidelberg. That's a tribal mark, you know. So what's going to happen when he hears the drums? Eh? You wait till the next full moon. We'll all be knocking our doors.
Nothing like a bit of mindless 70s racism, eh?
Listen, you wait till we get the washing of spears.
Rigsby, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. He's a stranger here. We should be making him feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. Hey, where's that jar of diphtheria, Jim? So you've made yourself at home then?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It seems very nice.
Oh, yes, it seems nice, yes. That's the wallpaper. Very good quality. But it has to be to hold these bricks together. Hey? See the way they've come in here, look at this. See the way the bricks have come away from the woodwork here? You can put your fist right in there, look at that. Yes, and look, this house holds back half the town, you know. Yeah. And of course, we're very high up here. I'm insured against low-flying aircraft. It's in the policy.
And there's nothing between this house and Russia?
Who told you that?
Miss Jones did happen to mention.
How well do you know Miss Jones?
Not very well, but she's in administration.
Oh, yes, I know that. I know all about Miss Jones, yeah. She's a friend of mine, but I'm not rushing it. All right with you?
Yeah.
No, you know, nothing personal, you know, but we don't have any misunderstandings, do we? It's what I told young Lenin upstairs.
Who?
The one upstairs, one with the long hair. Did you see him right down to his shoulders?
Is he at the university?
Yeah.
I don't think I know him.
No, you wouldn't, no. He only goes out after dark. Hey, watch this gas. It'll take your head off. Now, if it starts hissing like a snake, don't try and light it, whatever you do. Leave that door open to fetch me, all right? Did I mention the rent?
Yes.
£6 a week, and I insist on a month in advance.
Miss Jones didn't mention that.
Whoa.
Just right. Come on, Vienna. Come on.
Isn't that a strange name for a cat? Why do you call him Vienna?
Ah, well, now, you take this cat to the door on the coldest night of the year, when you'd have to kick a polar bear out, never mind a cat. You show him the front door, and if he sees another pair of eyes out there, it's good night, Vienna.
Okay, fair enough.
Hello. Welcome to Bleak House. Mind if I come in for a warm? I'm Alan Moore, live upstairs.
Philip Smith.
How do you do? You know, this is great.
What is?
Are you coming to live here?
Why?
Well, we've never had a...
A what?
Well, I've never known a...
Yeah?
It'll be an experience.
What sort of experience?
I don't know.
Let's get one thing straight. I'm not an experience.
No, of course not, no. What do you think of Rigsby?
I don't know. Is he mad?
Probably.
Yeah, definitely mad.
He lives downstairs, all alone with his cat. No one's ever been in his room. Some say that he was jilted on his wedding day and he sits down there all night with the remains of the cake.
I was hoping to get some peace and quiet here. I do have a lot of work to do.
Of course, yeah, I won't disturb you. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, look, if there's anything you want, don't hesitate to ask, right? Good night, Philip.
Good night.
Damn it, there goes his plans. Stay in the warm.
Philip, at last. I've been so impatient waiting for the others to go. I wanted to give you a proper welcome.
Whoa!
Are you all right for butter?
Do you think we should be doing this?
Do you realise this is the first time we've been alone since that night?
What night?
That night. You haven't forgotten, Philip?
Oh, that night.
Don't you remember? You said my skin was like the skin of fruit. I thought that was lovely. So poetical. What fruit did you mean, Philip?
Ruth, I'm rather busy at the moment and we've got to think of appearances.
I don't care about appearances. Let's be impulsive. Let's drink life to the dregs.
Whoa!
Is that Rigsby?
Rigsby,
We should have to be careful. He can be very funny about this sort of thing.
what will you do?
Well, he cuts my water off. Not that I care. Not anymore. Black on white, Philip. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just thinking how much work I've got to do.
Do you ever think about that night, Philip? The way we ran hand in hand in the pouring rain? You do find the rain primitive, don't you, Philip?
Berry, I wanted to get a taxi.
Do you remember what we said to each other?
You said you could get me a flat. I didn't know you were going to be next door. How am I going to get any work done?
Work can wait, Philip. Perhaps we can exchange our supplements sometime, Mr. Smith. Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, Miss Jones.
I weren't expecting that.
What was she doing up here?
She came to see if there was anything I wanted.
Oh, I see. You don't want anything, do you?
No.
Oh, right. Because if there is, you know, you come to me. Huh? Here's your rent book.
Thank you.
I've marked... Well, there's... But it gets more like a lady's hairdresser's every day. Well, he's staying. Just can't get rid of him. I've tried being diplomatic, now she'll have to get nasty. I don't know why Miss Jones had to bring him here in the first place.
Perhaps she fancies him.
You watch your tongue.
I
She's
think
not like
she
that. She's
does.
a respectable woman. She saved herself.
What for?
For the right man.
Not
Yeah.
you, Rigsby.
Oh, why not?
I thought you said she was respectable.
She is. But underneath, you see, she's untapped. There's a lot of pent-up force there. One of these days, she's going to burst like a dam, and I'll be waiting.
Oh!
Perhaps the dam's been burst already.
Anybody tries to come between me and her... Oh, there they are.
Ah! Diphtheria germs!
Did you want something, Rigsby?
No, just, just seeing you'd settle in, that was all.
Well, if you don't mind.
Because the last tenant in here, he never did settle somehow. He seemed to sense an atmosphere, you know.
What sort of atmosphere?
You know, bad spirits.
What?
Well, you see, years ago a man died in here in this room in horrible circumstances. Took his own life whilst the balance of mine was disturbed.
I think I know the feeling. I'm only surprised that he found the time.
It doesn't worry you then?
No.
Well, I just thought I'd mention it, you know, just in case you were of a nervous disposition. God, look at the cat. Look the way he's first standing on end. Yes. He can sense it. Oh. Yeah. Him and me, we wouldn't spend a night in here, not for a fortune.
I'm relieved to hear it.
Yeah.
Now, if you...
There's definitely some guy in the audience who really found that funny. Did you hear that?
He can sense it. Him and me, we wouldn't spend a night in here, not for a fortune.
I'm relieved to hear it.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind.
Horrible circumstances.
Well done.
Oh, God.
What's the matter, Philip? You look worried.
Worried? This is like being in the middle of a sponsored walk. How can I work under these conditions?
You're working too hard, Philip. You should try and relax. Why don't you come and lie down? Shall I turn the covers back for you?
Whoa!
What's that doing here?
It's not mine.
What are you doing in your bed? There are other things you can go to bed with, you know.
Don't worry. Now then, Monolulu, what's your little game, eh? Do you think you can start that sort of thing round here that happens to be a respectable house?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Rigsby. He's perfectly respectable. He happens to be the son of a chief.
Son of a what?
Son of a chief. A paramount chief.
Oh, my God.
Son of a chief, and he never said nothing to
He
me.
doesn't want anybody to know.
If he wants to be bloody secretive.
I'm trying to lead an ordinary life. All I want is to be left alone.
That's how you feel, Philip.
Son of a chief, eh?
It's not important.
Oh, no, it's not important. You don't have to tell me that. Just your luck, isn't it? Suppose you come from an old family?
Yes.
Yes, born to it, yes. It was the same in wartime, you know. My old captain, he came from a good family. Not like these tuppenny-halfpenny gentlemen you get nowadays. He always carried a walking stick, smoked a pipe. I never saw him ruffled. Whenever Jerry'd open up, he'd just lean on his stick and say, "Where do you think that's coming from, Sergeant?" Everyone would leap for cover, not the captain.
What happened to him?
He got blown up by a shell. I suppose, being the son of a chief, you can have your pick.
What?
You know, women.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Is it true that your women are much more, you know?
Oh, yes. Much more.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
It's a medical fact. They get far more excited.
Yeah. Ours are always getting headaches. Yours get headaches.
No, I don't think so.
Miss Jones gets headaches, terrible ones. She has to wear blue glasses. Of course, you're very hard on your women, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, you make them walk for miles in the hot sun with pots on their heads.
Oh, yes.
To keep them in their place. Eh? What are you doing?
I'm going. Isn't that what you wanted?
Oh, see, not good enough for you, is that it? But just because you're the son of a chief, you know, you needn't look down your nose at this place. Very, very fashionable area here, you know. We had the manager of the co-op drapery staying here last year. He never complained. Do you know, we're getting breezes straight off the Urals here, you know.
I can't stop here, Rigsby. I never get any
Yes,
work
but just a
done.
minute.
What about my rent?
Where do you think you're going to find another room in this town, eh? Look, there's no need to be hasty. There is another room. Much quieter. Just a minute.
Oh, is he going to make a swap?
What are you doing in there, Rigsby?
All right, just bringing your table back, that's all.
Oh, thanks, that's great.
Hey, I shouldn't go in there, not with your curlers in, anyway.
Hey, what's going on? This is my room.
I beg your pardon, but this is my room.
Hey, Rigsby, I'm not sharing.
Neither am I.
I paid £4
You still have
You
your
think
way
you are the Vessel Virgins? You'll get used to it. You can be brothers or sisters. Eh?
Was he making him share? I thought he was going to get Alan to go downstairs. I thought he was just going to make a swap. Francis de la Tour. Her face seems familiar. I don't know where I know it from. I'll check it out. Is that it? I think that's it. Okay. Right. Give me 1 second. Let me gather my thoughts. I'll be back with you in just a moment.
A few moments later.
Okay, so that was my reaction to Rising Damp, the very first episode. So, Frances de la Tour, Harry Potter. Once I kind of worked out who she was elsewhere, I think that's probably the only thing I've really ever seen her in. But she played Madame Maxime, who was the head of the Beauxbatons Academy in the movies. She was the other sort of half giant that kind of had a thing with Hagrid. I wouldn't have expected. I don't know why. I just expected it to be a really, really, really tall woman. So yeah, that was different. And then of course, Don Warrington, so young. That was really freaky to see him in that. Leonard Rossiter, I don't think I've really seen anything. If I have that much of him, it's a little bit before my time, I think. Richard Beckinsale. Again, I wouldn't have seen much, and that's not surprising, considered he died before I was born. He tragically died at quite a young age. But I think that from the looks of it, the thing that he was most notably in was Porridge, which was the sitcom with Ronnie Barker, which was set in a prison. I've always heard good things about that. Never actually seen Porridge. So let me know if you think that's something I should definitely check out, because I always quite liked a couple of the sketches of the two Ronnies that I watched growing up. I didn't really watch loads of stuff with the two Ronnies, but there's a few things like the Four Candles sketch or the Mastermind sketch, for example. A few little sketches like that I've seen, but actual stuff that they've probably been in, not really that much. So yeah, let me know about that. As it is, Andy, thank you for suggesting this one. It's very much a product of its time, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff where there's jokes kind of around the difference, which comes down to the skin colour, which you do have to kind of go into it with a bit of an open mind, because it was the stuff of its time. And I always try and be very open and try to be very understanding of the time that something says. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, this was done and this was unacceptable now, but it wasn't acceptable then, so therefore you should never watch it. Because then there's loads of stuff that we could say that isn't necessarily the better. I mean, you think about something like the world-renowned Renaissance paintings and stuff from the Michelangelos and stuff like that. They were very religious, heavy and everything, which for me, I'm not a religious person. So should I say that's never going to be accepted or anything like that? Can I never accept it as a work of art because I'm not religious? No, I understand that it's of a particular era of history. I can appreciate it for what it is, what it was doing for the people of the time, what it still does to some people of today's society. You are not necessarily right or wrong for liking or not liking something. But I can't shy away from the fact that some of those jokes that they would have done down there, it's a bit awkward to watch in the modern day. Being of someone who wants there to be no racism whatsoever, wants no homophobia, no religious discrimination. I don't want any kind of discrimination or anything of any kind. But it is a product of its time. Was it still good? I would say it was alright for a first episode. There was some laughs, some stuff that was a bit because of course, who I am now, the era in which I am living, and the morals that I currently have. Can I see the potential in this show? Absolutely, and I could understand why some people probably would find it funny. I mean, at the moment, the closest thing I could say that I have personally seen that I could kind of compare it to would probably be Fawlty Towers. You know, the Rigsby character seems to be a little bit similar to a Basil Fawlty in a way. Not quite, because, you know, it is a very different kind of setup. He is a lot more chatty to his tenants, even if he is a bit still dismissive of them. So I may watch some more of this in the future, I may not, I don't know, but I'm glad that you suggested this to me, Andy. I'm glad that I had a chance to experience something new, as I always like to on the channel. So keep making suggestions. If you have suggestions, put them in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. But that is going to do it for today's reaction to Rising Damp Series 1, Episode 1. For now, my name is Kevin. I am a geek, and you've been watching Kevin the Geek. Goodbye.